I'm Tracy Bonfitto, Curator of Art at the Ransom Center, and I'm taking a closer look at a lithograph by John Biggers entitled Mother and Children from 1952. John Biggers is perhaps best known for his large-scale murals, but the artist also did a number of drawings, paintings, and prints like this one. Biggers was born in North Carolina in 1924, earned his doctorate from Pennsylvania State University, and helped establish the art department at what is today Texas Southern University. In the early 1950s, Biggers created a number of drawings and prints similar in composition and subject matter to this one. Here we see a mother closely enfolding 3 young children within the embrace of her arms, upper body, legs, and even feet. It might take you a moment, as it did for me, to register the 3rd young child who is held closely between the mother's foot and leg at the lower right. In encountering the print, the viewer's eye moves from the upper left corner, where the mother's face meets that of one of her children, diagonally down across her arm and right leg, and then following the curve of her foot, which directs the eye upwards again in a counterclockwise direction. The flow is aided by the outstretched finger on the mother's left hand, making contact with the curve of her ankle. And this contact point both creates a circle of enclosure and also helps to move the eye towards the lower portion of the print. It's an image that is tender and intimate, but also haunting. The figures' bodies crowd and press against the limits of the image borders. We see little of the figures' faces, and in the tight intertwining, we aren't sure whether we are witnessing a loving embrace, or perhaps an act of protection, a moment of exhaustion, or even of despair. Looking closely, Biggers' use of line is complex. With a lithocrayon on the printing stone, the artist created volume, dimension, and a depth of shadow via crosshatching. In some areas, it's more tightly constructed, and in others, more loosely, and here Biggers has used empty space to create highlights. Volume is also created in the way the mother's arm and leg curve and fold around her children. Although pressed forward and filling the printed space in a way that could have resulted in a feeling of flatness, the forms instead appear sculptural and 3-dimensional. Highlights have been added in another way, by cutting or scraping into the lithocrayon, most notably in the figure's hair. Here we see the curved, scraped line highlights in the mother's hair draw the eye downward, while those in her child's hair pull the eye to the right, with the viewer resting at the point where the 2 figures connect in what appears to be a kiss. The interaction of these cross-hatchings, scrapings, and open spaces creates a cohesion, but also a kind of confusion in the piece. The image holds together beautifully, so well, in fact, that it can be difficult to tell exactly where the body of one figure begins and another ends. The Ransom Center holds a number of other powerful prints and drawings by John Biggers. I hope you've enjoyed a closer look at this print, Mother and Children, which was recently donated by Deborah and Randy Soul in memory of Gloria Soul. We invite you to explore more in person and on our website.